The Mockingbird Next Door is really good. I wonder what the author Marja Mills is up to.
That's my phone. Hello?
Hi, Miss Mills.
Hello?
This is Emma.
Oh, Emma, hi.
How have you been?
Good, thanks. It's kind of chilly here in Chicago, but I'm good otherwise. How are you?
I'm doing just well.
Glad to hear it.
So tell me, what made you want to be an author?
You know, I was a journalist. I was a newspaper reporter at the Chicago Tribune when I was sent to Alabama to write about Harper Lee's hometown. And so this was the first book I've written. But I always liked the idea of being able to write something longer than the newspaper stories I was used to writing. And I've always loved to write and read.
When did you first read To Kill a Mockingbird? What was your initial reaction?
I loved it. I was in 9th grade. I was a freshman at West High School in Madison, Wisconsin. And I can remember being in this old overheated library we had and just feeling transported to those red, dusty streets she writes about. And never dreaming, of course, that I would have the chance later on to go to Monroeville and to meet her and her equally remarkable sister, Alice Lee.
That sounds fun. You mentioned Harper Lee lived with her sister, Alice. What was their relationship like?
Oh, it was so interesting, and that was a lot of what I wanted to show readers in this memoir was the 15-year age difference between the two of them and these two very different personalities. A friend of theirs described Alice as being more like a judge, kind of calm and deliberate in how she went about things, and her baby sister, as she called her, Nell Harper, being more like a fiery prosecutor with hell and pepper in her. And so it was interesting to see how the two of them, despite being that different, navigated the press of interest that continued all those years into Harper Lee and her novel. Alice managed a lot of her sister's affairs from this little law office in Monroeville, Alabama.
You were friends with both Alice and Harper, correct?
Correct.
What was your most humorous moment with both of them?
Oh, goodness. There were so many. They were really great fun, and that sense of fun is something I wanted to convey to people in the book. I don't think that's always what people think about with them because Alice was so proper and Nell was so private. But I think some of the most fun we had was when we would get lost going on these country drives, exploring these back roads. And if we got lost, all the better, that they turned it into a great adventure. So for me, those were some of the most fun moments with them. And they were such students of Alabama history, and they had this kind of sense of mirth about, oh, you know, the family feuds that would develop among some of these country families and sort of just the human foibles of life in that community. They both had such a twinkle in their eye about that, and great fun.
Why did Harper Lee not write another book after To Kill a Mockingbird?
You know, that was a question that shadowed her for years and years. And she told a friend of hers, she asked him, do you ever wonder why I didn't write a second book? And he said, well, you know, me and a million other people. And on that occasion, anyway, she said, well, two things. One is I said what I had to say in Mockingbird, and I won't say it again. And two, I wouldn't go through all that publicity again for all the money in the world. I think there were other factors. Certainly, the weight of expectations that she felt after To Kill a Mockingbird became such a phenomenon would weigh on any young writer. And she did work on other things over the years, but until Watchmen hadn't published anything else.
Well, thank you for your time. It was lovely to have a conversation with you.
Great to talk with you. I hope we get a chance to meet sometime.
Me too. Thank you, Mrs. Mills.
Okay. Bye, Emma.
Goodbye.